Good, good. How might Derek Walker help? I know you don't want to rush into the conversation too much, but in particular, how might he help your shooters?
Yeah, the thing Derek will demand as he rolls into the paint is he'll demand a lot of attention with teams having to suck in there because of his ability to finish at the rim. That'll hopefully open up some things on the perimeter. We have not finished obviously very well at the rim, really with all of our players, but particularly with Ivan. He's gotten a lot better over the last few games, but I think teams will have to suck in there a little bit more, obviously depending on their pick and roll coverage. If they're in a drop, they'll play more of the pick and roll in a 2-on-2. If they're more aggressive with it, they'll have to sit in that opposite low man, which hopefully will open up some shots, either in the corner or in the opposite wing. But we're all excited to have Derek back. It's been a long time coming. He's been extremely patient throughout this process. A lot of highs and lows, ups and downs. I talked to him even last year when he was with Delano and Shamil about how far off it seems, but how quickly it's going to go, and then got the disappointing news this year that he would have to sit pretty much the entire suspension that he was given. So, that really was emotional on him, and, he took it hard, but he stayed with it. He did a great job helping prepare, going out and running the other team's stuff, and now he's got to flip that switch, being back on the active roster. He hadn't played a game in a long time, so we're going to have to be patient with Derek as he works his way back into game shape and gets his timing right. It's impossible to simulate, especially at this league, and not get an opportunity early in the season against maybe some lesser opponents. So, Derek's going to be, playing a lot of catch-up here. We've been trying to get him through the offense pretty much every day, getting him extra work for this exact moment. But, hey, Derek, welcome to the league. You get to go up against Big Williams and Edie, 6'10" and 7'4" in your first game. But he's excited to be back, and we're certainly excited to have him back on the floor.
Just real quick, Fred, what do you I don't know if you know for sure, but in terms of minutes, what might we expect with Derek?
Yeah, we're going to monitor it closely and see how he's doing. A lot of it will be on how he's feeling out there, Steve. And, if he feels great, we may be able to extend the minutes that we have planned out for him. If he's getting winded right away, we may have to get him in and out. So we'll see. A lot of it's going to be by feel.
Thank you.
Robin Washut.
Hey, after Michigan State game, Trey said that he kind of took it upon himself to be more aggressive offensively, and that for this offense to really take off, he can't be as passive as he has been in previous games, particularly the second half against Ohio State. Was that something that, maybe you pushed along to try to get him to be more assertive on the offensive end, or is that just kind of him realizing the situation?
Yeah, Trey and I watch film pretty much after every game, and we talk about how good he is when he gets in the open floor and when he's in attack mode. And I thought he was really aggressive, got to the basket on a couple of occasions. The other thing I've talked to him a lot about is making sure he attacks smart. And when the defense is loaded back there, and I think he had one late in the game where he tried to attack two or three guys sitting right there at the elbow, that's where the growth has to happen. But I thought he took a huge step in the right direction with his aggressiveness, getting into the paint. We cleared out a side for him and went in there and hammered it with authority when we had some action going on the weak side. There's a lot we can build on in that second half, shooting over 50% overall, scoring 44 points against a really, really good Michigan State defensive team. So that is something certainly we can build on. We've obviously struggled to score and struggled to shoot as of late, really mostly throughout this year. But we had an offensive game that we can build on with our numbers, almost 50% overall, 50% from the three. We just got to find a way to do little things. They got 2 threes on missed rotations that we went over in shoot around that morning by our big, not full rotating out of the post. We had, an offensive rebound that was just, pretty much sealed it when it was a 5-point game. We get that with 50 seconds left, cut it to 2 or 3, and, it might be a different outcome. But those little things that are happening, we have to tighten that up. If we can tighten that up, take care of the basketball, rebound the ball, which we were phenomenal in the first half. We only gave them 1 offensive rebound, and then transition, where they exposed us early and then got a couple on us late. In the middle, we were pretty good, but the key points, we have to be better. We got to do better on the basics, better on the little things. And, hopefully some of these games will turn into wins for us.
Sam McEwen?
Hey, Fred. I think Big Ten opponents are shooting, I think, 61% inside the arc against you guys through 5 games. Obviously, that speaks to the excellent players that you guys are facing. But how do you shore up that defense a little bit, and how much can Derek help with that?
Yeah, Derek, again, gives us another big physical body that hopefully will help in that area. It's what Purdue's going to do. They're going to throw it inside. I think they threw it to Williams 15 times on the left block in the second half against Rutgers. So that's going to be the game plan, is throwing it down there. Obviously, we've had different double team schemes. Our rotations at times have been really good, and then at times we've had lapses in our rotations. We have to be more consistent with that. Those are drills that we do daily because of teams' ability to score on us right now inside. But yeah, absolutely, we've got to be better. We've got to make it more difficult, and then we have to secure the ball and rebound. That killed us in the second half the other night by not blocking out, being consistent with our blockouts, and securing the ball, where we made really good things happen because of Michigan State crashing 4 of their 5 players. Just again, the little things like that, Sam. If we shore those up, hopefully we can get over the top on a few of these games.
I know the Big Ten is really, really good this year, but you have a lot of players who have not been through the Big Ten before. Maybe they've been through other leagues. It does seem that Trey does seem to have acclimated to this style and this pace. But I'm thinking of guys like Trevor and Eduardo Andre, and even Lat a little bit because he didn't play a ton at TCU. Are you seeing these guys like go, whoa, this is really good? These teams are hard. Are you seeing them kind of feel that way about what they're experiencing, or they feel pretty good about being able to compete, possession in, possession out?
Yeah, I mean, Sam, the numbers came out, the first net numbers came out, 12 of the 14 are 51 or better, and that's absolutely incredible where this league is right now. It's the best it's ever been, and it's every night you step on the floor, it's going to be an incredible battle. It's going to be incredibly difficult. You prepare as well as you can. We talked about Ohio State. They were going to throw it inside. And guess what? They threw it inside and kicked our ass down there. So, you just have to go out there and try to make it as difficult as possible. Hopefully they cooperate and miss some shots. Henry hadn't made a shot in 2 or 3 weeks, and he goes out and he's, absolutely kills us from the 3-point line and, was phenomenal inside as well. But we just have to go out again and continue to prepare. We've been right there in most of the games, really with the exception of Ohio State. For the majority of the game. It's about cutting out the mistakes and cutting out the stretches that are costing us. Last 3 or 4 minutes of the first half the other night, first 3 or 4 minutes of the second half, it was I think a 17-point swing, or they opened up a 17-point lead on us. It was 7 at halftime, and they torched us at the beginning of the half, and that was the second straight time that happened. The Michigan game. Before that. But we've been right there. Even Michigan pulled back in, had a chance. Michigan State, we're 2-possession game under a minute, had a chance to cut it to 1 if we rebound the ball. Wisconsin, we're right there. So, again, it's about going out there and finding a way to get a win, to give our team a little confidence to know that we can do it.
Joe Digit?
Hey, Fred. Purdue, like Nebraska, shoots a lot of 3-pointers in a game. Do they do anything unique to give themselves those looks? Is it going to be a challenge to stay connected on the perimeter?
Well, they run 800 sets. This team, I think, is more than anybody else in our league. They run more action than anybody else. And, really, it's a conceptual game plan. This is how we're guarding this action. This is how we're guarding the post. This is how we're guarding the pick and roll. Because if you try to go through everything, you're not going to remember anything. So they do a great job running their stuff. The pace they run their actions with is phenomenal. They've got guys that can shoot the ball at a high clip. Stefanovic is one of the top shooters in the country. And then when they throw it inside, it's kind of a pick your poison deal. If you let them go in their one-on-one, they're really skilled and crafty and talented. You have to try to make them catch the ball out a little bit further so you can stay with the shooters. But, give Coach Painter credit. They really run their actions with great pace, and it's very hard to guard them.
Andrew Ward?
Hey, Fred, when you guys are kind of in a rut like you are right now, how much can bringing a guy like Derek back into the fold kind of kickstart you guys a little bit and give you a little boost of confidence?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Everybody, Derek's a very popular player in this team. He did a phenomenal job in the year and a half since he's been here in the sit-out of continuing to lead through that. And, being on the sidelines, sometimes you see it a little bit more clear what's going on out there on the floor and how you can come in and help fix it and correct some things. Again, he gives us a really good finisher around the basket. He gives us experience, playing in the SEC for a couple years for a great coach in Rick Barnes. So he'll absolutely help us. But as I said, you can't expect Derek, with sitting out as long as he has, to come in and right away be a 20-point per game guy. I mean, he's going to help us in a lot of areas, but we have to give Derek time to get in shape and get his timing where we need it to be. But, he's obviously a guy that we are all very excited to have back on the floor, from the coaches all the way down to the players, to the support staff, because he does things the right way. And, when you get a guy like that works as hard as he does, he's an easy guy to root for. He's absolutely excited to have him, and hopefully he helps us, win some of these games.